QAnon conspiracy theorist was scheduled to speak at the RNC because of course she was. But they scrapped her speech, which was pre-recorded, once it became clear that she was tweeting anti-Semitic QAnon conspiracy theories. Marianne Mendoza was all set to speak, but again, her tweets got her into, I guess, a little bit of trouble, which really doesn't make sense with Trump and his campaign because they've been very supportive of QAnon conspiracy theorists in multiple occasions. In fact, in a recent video, Trump was asked about QAnon and he seemed to give them a giant pass. Take a look.
Well, I don't know much about the movement other than I understand they like me very much, which I appreciate, but I don't know much about the movement. I have heard that it is gaining in popularity, and from what I've heard, these are people that when they watch the streets of Portland, when they watch what happened in New York City in just the last 6 or 7 months, but this was starting even 4 years ago when I came here, almost 4 years, can you believe it? These are people that don't like seeing what's going on in places like Portland and places like Chicago and New York and other cities and states. And I've heard these are people that love our country and they just don't like seeing it. So I don't know really anything about it other than they do supposedly like me.
They do supposedly like me. The mouth breather, the loser, the thin-skinned egomaniac. Jesus Christ. Okay, so Marianne Mendoza, again, her speech did get scrapped. And so what was the response from the Trump campaign? Tim Murtaugh, who's a campaign spokesperson, said, we have removed the scheduled video from the convention lineup and it will no longer run this week, but he wouldn't explain why. And by the way, Mendoza she refers to herself as an angel mom and an advocate for stricter immigration policies promoted. And she promotes conspiracy theorists that are contained in a Twitter thread with dozens of tweets. She tweeted things like, do yourself a favor and read this thread in reference to a string of conspiratorial tweets about a Jewish plan to control the world. So that's the kind of person she is. She also, in the thread, which began in May from the unverified account War Noose, claimed the protocols of the Elders of Zion is not a fabrication, and it certainly is not anti-Semitic to point out this fact. One of the tweets in the thread also includes the hashtag QAnon, a reference to the baseless pro-Trump internet conspiracy theory that imagines the president as being locked in a clandestine battle against deep state factions of powerful satanic pedophiles who are plotting against him and his supporters. This is what happens when you don't have access to mental health care in the country and you have mentally ill people running around thinking that there are satanic pedophiles that Trump is somehow trying to battle against.
Yeah, I know, there's a lot of debate about whether X thing is anti-Semitic or not. But I feel like if passing around the protocols of the Elders of Zion isn't anti-Semitic, I'm not sure exactly what is at that point. I feel like that's one of the fundamental traditional ones that's anti-Semitic. Yeah, wow. Okay, so she's an angel mom. So clearly, her family has been through terrible experiences and all of that. And so that might help us to understand why someone would engage in this insane conspiratorial QAnon stuff and all of that. That said, she's doing it. They were right to pull her speech, although I would ask, this person said something on social media that a lot of people don't like, and she lost a speaking engagement and she's now persona non grata. Do we have a term for that in society that the right loves to talk about? Indeed, at that convention, kind of looks like she was canceled. But what do you know?
She was literally canceled.
She was canceled and they haven't even talked about it. But here's the thing. she should be canceled. She shouldn't get a speaking engagement at the RNC because it is an incredibly anti-Semitic thing that she was saying. And that's the thing really that people need to understand about QAnon. Like if you're just sort of catching up to this, you might say, what do the Q people believe? But what you fundamentally need to understand is that while floating on the top of it is the satanic pedophiles and all of that, what do they believe? They believe everything and anything. It is the conspiracy theory now because they have said, just go out and do research, figure it out. They've made it open now for all of the conspiracy theorists. If you believe in a flat earth, you probably believe in Q2. If you believe in the lizard people, you probably believe in Q2. It's just all of them now. And what they seem to have coalesced around in terms of American politics is supporting Donald Trump. I don't think that that's universal, but it's pretty close to one of the only core unifying principles for the people that follow Q.
So she later apologized and pretended like she didn't know about what she tweeted. She's like, my apologies for not paying attention to the intent of the whole message. What? You tweeted it. What does that even? That does not reflect my feelings or personal thoughts whatsoever. Here's Donald Trump buddying up with the weirdo because that's what he does. So I don't really, look, you're right. Her pre-recorded speech should have been canceled. I'm glad it's canceled. But it doesn't change the fact that Trump loves these types of people. It doesn't change the fact that he identifies with these people. And there's a giant list. I didn't even know this list was so extensive of people that Trump has endorsed or supported. And these are not just randos who write dumb things on the internet. These are people who actually ran for congressional seats. So these are candidates. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Green is from Georgia's 14th congressional district and had praised the mythical Q as a patriot in a video from 2017 and described the conspiracy theory as something worth listening to and paying attention to. She received donations from groups tied to Donald Trump's chief of staff and several party mega donors. That's not the only.
And she's
person.
Gonna be. Oh, sorry. She's gonna be at his speech tomorrow, by the way.
Okay, great. That's awesome, wonderful. And look, there's more. So there's Joe Ray Perkins, there's Lauren Boebert, there's Mike Cargill, there's Teresa Rayborn, there's Aaron Cruz. Like the list goes on, and it's just, this is something that Trump supports. And he has encouraged this kind of behavior. And remember, these are the types of people who go into a random pizza shop in the DC area with weapons, looking to actually hurt people that in their minds are running some sort of pedophile sex ring. These are people who are a danger to society because of how unhinged they are. And Donald Trump thinks they're very fine people. Maybe you should give a speech at my convention.
Exactly. Yeah, I just want to say one other thing. I want to give credit to something that I know a lot of people have probably said it, but Cenk has said it for literally years, which is the thing is that it doesn't matter what a conspiracy theory looks like or what the bounds of it are, what they tend to focus on. If you dig enough into it, inevitably at the end of it is the Jews are trying to take over the world. That is at the heart of every single conspiracy theory. So if that is something that you actually believe about is stopping anti-Semitism, you should be concerned about this because they can talk about Wayfair and child trafficking and all of that. It always comes back to that one core belief that there's this cabal of rich Jewish elites that are trying to control everything.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.